And if I can listen to you, knowing what I know, and you feel good or seen, then you can take that feeling and bring it back to your kitchen table, and you can give that same feeling to others.
I don't know what your personality is like, but for me, I'm trying to imagine myself saying, I have an idea, I want to try something, but pulling out a table in random public spaces and hanging up a sign saying, listening table, it would be very uncomfortable for a person like myself who's introverted, socially awkward. I'd rather be in the shadows than in the light. How was it for you to start that idea and the first couple of times when you went out there to do it?
So fascinating for me to hear, because you are someone who I've followed for a long time and would never have imagined you would be. I mean, you're so good at being in the light. I think maybe we have a similarity there in the sense that I love being introverted. I want to do this change in the world. I want to make people understand that better listening is not something you need to go to grad school for or take a 12-week course. There's something you could just kind of see something slightly different and start practicing in yourself. And I just thought, if I don't do this, it's not going to happen. It was just a culmination of me really having no other options at that point. I needed to make myself uncomfortable in order to do anything that I think was worthwhile. I remember I was on my iPhone. I was 27 years old and I said, hey Siri, how many days until my 30th birthday? And it was like 1,000 days. And I was like, I got 1,000 days to do something. I have to do something ridiculous and as fast as I can. And I made a list of all the things I could do because I had a lot of ideas. And the listening table just happened to be the easiest one. The least production value. I had the table, the signs cost $5. What you mentioned is the spotlight thing. And I think it speaks to I'm not in the spotlight when I'm at the table. I am the spotlight when I'm at the table. The person who sits there is the person who gets the attention. I get some thumbs ups from people passing by, but a majority of where the attention is always with the person who sits down to share.
But in setting up the table, you're inviting strangers to come up to you. And I've seen some of the clips where some people have strange reactions, strange conversations. Some are angry, some are happy to see you. It's kind of inviting people into your orbit. And I think that's enough as an introvert to kind of scare me. And so when I saw you doing these videos on Instagram, I was like, wow, that's a really neat idea that I think anybody can do, but nobody does. And so I think that makes it even more special. And I love your perspective on this in that you don't need training. You don't need to have a degree or anything. You just have to have the intention, the spirit to be able to be there for people. And it's such a simple concept, but executed so well when you do it. What do you think people get from sitting down there next to you and just having someone who listens to them without judgment?
I just want to say up front, I did the table to make myself a better listener. That divorces me from the necessity to help anybody who sits down with me because I'm helping myself. It's a personal goal. And sometimes people sit down and the things that they're going through there's nothing anyone can say to make it better. I like to think that if you come to sit at the table and you see me, who's not specifically trained or being paid, I represent someone that is anybody, a friend or a family member. And if I can listen to you, knowing what I know, and you feel good or seen, then you can take that feeling and bring it back to your kitchen table and you can give that same feeling to others. I really try and be a role model of sorts and say, look, if I did it, I'm not doing anything special. I've been doing something special, but I'm not doing something impossible or even that hard to get into the place to do it. I'm trying to show that this is something anyone can do.